So, general form is always set equal to 0. Okay? AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. Couple of things. A, it says usually. I would say always make it positive. I'll show you how to do that. All right? It's called the standard form or the general form. It's always set equal to 0. So, notice it has no brackets or anything. So you have to clear all brackets. All right, here we go. So here is, what form is this one? The second one, point slope, right? It's the point slope. Perfect. I want to get rid of the brackets. So what do I do to get rid of the brackets? Okay, so we're going to multiply the 1/2 into the x. So y plus 2 is equal to 1/2 x minus, what's 3 times 1/2? 3 over 2. Thank you. Okay. Notice in this, you're not allowed to have any fractions. You have to have integers. Integers means no fractions. You guys don't like fractions. So that should be a good thing. How do you get rid of fractions? I'm going to teach you how do you get rid of fractions. I hope somebody taught you this at some point in your life. That is if it's an equation, yes, that is right. You can do the cross multiply. But if you have something that looks like this with multiple fractions, how do you get rid of fractions? No, well, integers means whole numbers, not decimals. Sorry, I should have clarified that. Integers means whole numbers, no decimals. No decimals, no fractions. So what you do is you look at the denominator. What's the denominator for these fractions? You multiply everything by 2. We'll talk about that. Okay? This is actually useful when you go into grade 11 and stuff like that too. Everything gets multiplied by 2. So that 2, because what you do one side, you do the other side. That's why you multiply everything by it. So let's go 2 times y. What's 2 times y? What's 2 times 2? Now, here's the trick. What's 2 times 1/2? 1, right? Because 1x, yes. This 2 will cancel that 2, so you're just left with x. What's 2 times 3/2? 3. The 2's just cancel. Okay. Well, because you go 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's what happens. But you can just cancel the 2's right away. That's why we do it. Now, everything has to equal 0. So you have to get everything onto one side. Remember that your a should be positive. So the a is the number in front of the x. Do I want to move the x? If I move the x to the other side, what happens to it? It becomes negative. So move everything to the right side. So I'm going to take away 4. I guess I'll take away 4 from there. So I get x minus 7. Are we good so far? Now, I don't want the 2y there. It has to equal 0. So how do I get to 2y to the other side? Subtract 2y. So I get 0 is equal to x minus 2y minus 7. That is it in standard form. Minus 2y from each side. Has to be a 0. You're just moving it. That's all you're doing. 2 times 3 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3. Okay. All right, next one. I need to get rid of the fraction. How do I get rid of the fraction? Multiply everything by 3. Guys, I already showed you. Okay? You already had your chance to complain. Deal with it. 3 gets multiplied into everything. 3y equals what? What happens to the 3's? Yes, you get 2x plus 21. Yes, it has to equal 0, so subtract 3y. Yes. So minus 3y. So I get 0 is equal to minus 3y plus 21. The general for, yeah, you tend to write it ax, by, and then the constant. But if you don't, it's not wrong, because that's how they usually write it. Do we want to do C? All right. What's the difference with C? Different denominators. So you multiply by the common factor. Boom. Yes. Because that is how standard form is written. Yeah. This, I could rewrite this. I could just flip the whole thing and write it as 2x minus 3y plus 21 is equal to 0. I can write, that's the exact same thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll give you the, I'm not going to, it's like this. I will give you that. I will give you every formula in this class. I will not ask you to memorize a formula. Oh, to make it 0? Sorry, that's my fault then. You have to write it like that. That's what they want you to do. Okay. So when there's only one fraction or they have the same denominator, you multiply by what the denominator is. If they have two like this one, multiply by the common denominator, which wouldn't be 20 in this case. This shortcut is just go, what's 5 times 4? It's 20. So multiply everything by 20. It's not that bad, because watch. 20 times y is 20y. 20 times 1, divide by 4. 5, right? So I get negative 5x plus 20 times 3, 60, divided by 5. And all the fractions go away. This is good for when we're doing algebra as well, if you want to get rid of fractions. It's a good technique to know. Now, what do I do? Which side do you want to move stuff to? Yeah, you want to move the 5x to the other side because you want the number in front of the x to be positive, right? The a value has to be positive. So I'm going to add 5x. So I get 5x plus 20y is equal to 12. How do I get rid of the 12? Subtract 12. So then I've got 5x plus 20y minus 12 is equal to 0. A is the only one that has to be positive. The number in front of the x has to be positive, and everything has to equal 0. No fractions. Okay, that's real. This is all I'm going to ask you to do on a test. I'm going to ask you to do this, convert it to standard form, and I'm going to ask you to do next thing. Oh my. Subtract it. Yeah. All right. The other thing that you will be expected to do is if I give you something like this, I will ask you what is the slope and y intercept, i.e. write it as mx plus b. Okay? Yeah. So here's our equation. It's in standard form. We know it's in standard form because it equals 0. All right? I need to get it into y is equal to mx plus b form. So you need to get y by itself. It doesn't matter which side. I could write it as y is equal to mx plus b or mx plus b is equal to y. What is the easier move here? Should I move the x and the 25, or should I just move the 5y? Just move the 5y, right? It's a one step. So if I go plus 5y, I get 2x plus 25 equals 5y. And then divide by 5, because I want just y, right? Nobody likes this when I teach it. So, do I leave it as 2 over 5? Because that's a slope, right? Always leave it as a fraction. What's 25 divided by 5? There you go. They won't. I will not ask you that. Okay? Nope. Nope. Because that is pointless to go to that point, right? Here you have a point. You have the slope and you have the y-intercept. So that's, you can just graph it off of that. All right, B, and then I'll give you a couple minutes. What do I do? What should I move here? You want to move the 2y? All right, so we take negative 2y, 6x minus 15 is equal to negative 2y. And what? Divide by negative. So what happens when you divide by a negative? Watch your signs on the other side. They're going to flip, right? So those go away. What's 6 divided by negative 2? Negative 3, right? You could, but 3 is like 3 over 1, right? If it's a whole number, you can reduce it down. Negative 15 over negative 2 is, you can leave this as a fraction. Yeah, you can write positive 7.5 or positive 15 over 2. And there you go. All I want you to do is questions 1 and 3, please. I know that's ugly.